Welcome to the Coach Tyler Vann Show. I don't think I played the right intro, but nobody ever notices. I about mess that up every week. Hey, welcome. Coach Vann is here. Got a couple of players. Got Kobe and Will with us tonight. But I'm going to start above me with the Howie Chaney. Fire us off tonight, Howie. Take the first round of questions.
Oh, wow. This is unusual.
I know. I like to hear myself talk.
Yeah, there you go. Coach Vann, going into Glencoe game, it seemed like it's a different type of atmosphere on the sideline Friday night. It seemed like it's more of a workman-like business trip to you. What was that? Something from the Pisgah game, or just something that the players decided to do?
I'm really, to be honest with you, I wasn't pleased with the energy we had, but it was we did take care of business, and we went in there and did the job that we needed to do and took care of business and was able to come back. You know, we felt like we needed to get better at certain areas. We're not nowhere near where we need to be, but we're on the right track. So we just got to continue to get better.
Yeah. Kobe and Will, either one of you or both of you can answer this. How did you think, as far as the pregame and the sideline and everything, how did you feel like it was different from previous weeks?
It was definitely different. We could hear ourselves think while we were on the field. For the past few weeks, it's been very loud.
We just kind of treated it like a business trip.
I'm sure Coach Vann wants to hear that, because basically that's what it is. It's business trips from here on out. You know, you win and you get what you want at the end of the year. Coach Vann, I'm probably stealing this question away from Randy, but when I sent him the stats, he's like, "You're the only one on the sideline that didn't run the ball, Howie. What happened?" And so it has to be great to be able to get a lot of those younger players in the game.
Yeah, it was good. You know, a lot of guys that get to play the second half. We actually started subbing there late in the second quarter. So it's big reps for Ledford running the football and different guys throughout Noah McKeon and guys that don't get a lot of reps on Friday nights able to see a lot of reps. And, you know, maybe guys, you know, whether we rely on them later in the year or not, but for sure in the future of our football program, it was big to be able to get them guys in and get them some Friday night experience. So I was really pleased with how they competed in the game as well when they was in. I was really proud of our entire team and the effort that they played with Friday.
And I'm not doing it justice. I'm sorry, guys. Kobe and Will, each one of you tell, of course, we know you, Kobe and Will, tell who you are, what position you play, and the grade you're in. Go ahead and kick us off, Kobe.
I'm Kobe Buttram. I'm a junior. I play left guard.
I'm Will. I'm also a junior. I play left tackle and anywhere on the D-line.
So with these, with getting out to an early lead like you did and getting new players out there, how did it feel looking to your left or right and realizing this is somebody totally different next to me than normally?
It was really different. You build a lot of chemistry with the guy beside you, and then somebody else gets thrown in there. You just got to roll with it.
And Randy, I'll turn it back over to you, but let's do a quick, I know we give shout outs at the end of the night, but let's give a get well soon to John Sills. He had knee surgery today. He let me know that everything went well. They did a little something different. And I guess he's still on the anesthesia or whatever it was, because he said he thought he looked better after the surgery as well. So anyway, Randy, go ahead.
Well, I can guarantee you that was the anesthesia talking. That didn't happen. Coach Vann, I do want to start with a little bit going back. It was you talked about the energy early on, and I think that come off in the film. But I think Howie chose the word that I thought very workmanlike, very like you handled your the team handled the business as you prepared. Were there certain parts of the night that you felt like, hey, this is what we've been looking for, or you saw something that maybe some improvement now halfway through the season?
You know, I thought we did a better job. You know, they made two throws on us there that got them done there in position to score the football. And it was two plays we were in position on both of them. Really took two good throws, and the quarterback did a good job. Sometimes we're going to make plays, but I thought the rest of the game we did a really good job of staying in position. And on the back end, D-line did their normal and got after the quarterback. And I thought overall we did a better job on defense with our eyes. So it's just something we're going to have to get better at and continue to get better. It's not something you I'll be able to see it. Just a huge improvement from week to week. It's something you need to get a little bit better at every week. Just continue to get better at tackling that and doing the little things correctly, and we're going to be all right.
Coach, with getting to play young people and in that situation, was there a lights on moment that somebody we haven't talked about this year that maybe saw action in that second half outperformed expectations maybe a little bit?
I think they did about what we thought that. I mean, they don't get as much preparation as other guys as far as in the game plan work wise. A lot of them guys get to play scout team and help prepare. But I was really pleased with the effort that they played with. If you play with effort, it takes care of a lot of mistakes. So I thought our guys played really hard. They scored twice there in the second half, throwing the football. I think the first time, the second time, I think they broke a few runs. But we did make them. We made them drive the football even in the second half. We didn't give up just massive plays. So I thought the defense did a good job getting them down, making them snap it again. So I was really proud of those young guys. And they played the entire second half versus the varsity and did a really good job of holding them to 2 touchdowns. And I think we scored 2 as well. So kind of tied them there in the second half. But I was really pleased with their effort.
Coach, last question about this game, and we'll move on. But I did want to ask you again, and this is about the first half. I thought you're really super efficient would be the word I'd say on offense, and being able to open up your playbook maybe a little bit or even narrow it down. I mean, it seemed like you were kind of in the zone as a play caller yourself.
Yeah, we stepped the wrong way a few times up front on the O-line. They got us a few times on some plays that we should have made. And then we were working on throwing the football. We only threw 2 footballs that were interceptions. I thought he made the right decision on where he was trying to go with the football. One was just a little bit late, and it was 2 underthrows. But I thought he was doing the right thing besides missing the flat route on Waggle there on that one. But he still, when he threw the interception, he was making the right throw, so to speak. He just underthrew it a little bit. So I was really pleased with the ones we did complete, and he was going the right way most of the time. So I was really happy with the progression we made. Even though we had 2 interceptions, he was still going the right spot, and that's just stuff we can fix. So I was really happy. We were trying some things on offense, trying to work on some stuff at the same time. I felt like we could. We didn't even get 12 personnel that much, and didn't get 24 personnel at all. So we really stayed in 11 and 10 personnel, which is not necessarily what we do that much. So I was really pleased with being able to work on some stuff and get some stuff on film. And we ran, I think, the second half, all we ran was Arizona up front. So we ran inside zone. Inside zone and outside zone was the only 2 run plays we ran the entire second half. So we stuck to 2 plays the second half, and I thought the guys did a good job of running them. I really do think that's it. That was all that was called. Arizona and Oregon the entire second half. We didn't throw a pass play. Maybe one. I don't think so, though, but thought our guys did a good job.
All right, Coach. I'm going to, Will, Kobe, I want to jump up to you a little bit, and I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to move ahead to this week. I recently was part of a poll in the Chattanooga area where we were talking about the best rivalries in the area. Now, understand, 90% of the people in this room is from the Chattanooga area, don't have a lot of experience with North Alabama, but almost to a man, people brought up Sylvania and Plainview. Let's start with Colby. Is it just being so close together, or what makes this rivalry so special compared to other ones?
I would definitely say being so close. You always hear about what they're doing. They always hear about what you're doing. They both, you're always right beside each other. So they're very easy to look at.
Will, I have a coach where I call games that call these gas pump games, where every time you stop and you pump gas or you go in to buy a soda, somebody at the convenience store always asks you, "Hey, what's going on with the Plainview game? What's that?" How many of those questions do you get? Not necessarily this week, but all year long.
There's a bunch you get throughout the year, just week to week. No matter who it is, you really get those questions.
Let me ask. So y'all have played a schedule like nobody's business already, and you've been in a bunch of rivalry games already. in a bunch of big games between Geraldine and Pisgah and all those games. Does that help you this week with, you talked about being able to hear yourself on the sideline. Does that, when that level gets high and get emotions, all the great teams you played already, does that come into play this week?
I would definitely say it does. We've been in the situation before, so we know how to handle it.
All right, excellent. And Will, you?
Yes, sir. I can agree. You get used to it.
All right, Coach Vann. We talked a couple of weeks ago, it might have been in preseason, about the great coaches in your region. You're across the field from another one this week. What does it mean to play someone that's been at a school on and off for 40 years? So it's special getting to line up against a coach with that background.
Yeah, it's a coach's Hall of Fame coach. It's done it for a long time, won a lot of football games. So, he's going to have his team prepared and do things the right way. It's my job and our job as a coaching staff to have our guys ready. I believe we do. I believe in the guys in our locker room. So, you're right. It is special to be able to coach against a guy like that, and a guy like Coach Smith at Westbrook, Coach Benefield. We coach. I get the opportunity to coach against a lot of great coaches and learn a lot from it. Learn a lot from watching film. Learn a lot from my failures, and you learn more from the losses than you do the wins. I promise. Because like the other night, I lost. I watched that film 15 times more. I watched the ones we win. So trying to find ways to get better from a coaching standpoint and from a preparation standpoint. So, but it is special to be able to coach against guys like that. So I'm excited. But at the end of the day, it's about them guys out there on the field fighting for it and doing what they prepare. Who's going to not necessarily what I know and what coach knows on the other side, but what our kids are prepared to do and who executes the best on Friday.
I got to call Coach Pruitt's 300th victory up at Sequatchie County when he was at Marion. So, that was a special night for me because Coach Pruitt, I was there in 91, in 92. That's where I learned how to call games is there at Plainview. So definitely special. Now, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but I think last year the loss at Plainview, it really kind of almost focused the football team for the playoff run. But that week, players, coach alike, it was a tough week for you guys that week.
Yeah, it was. You go into halftime with a lead, you come out, you don't execute as well in the second half. They make more plays than you do. We talked about that a lot over the last year and what we was able to learn from it. Dealing with the injuries that we dealt with. But the bottom line is, they outplayed us in the second half last year. So we got to do a better job of playing 4 quarters this year. It's a rivalry game. Both teams should get both teams' best shot. For 4 quarters, both teams should play and give each other their best game. So I'm excited to be able to coach in this game again, and I know our guys are excited to be able to play in it.
Kobe, same question, kind of different. What's the fire like inside you this week to get it done this week? Is it one of those just feel like it makes you feel better, get up in the morning to get to play this game on Friday night?
Yes, I've been looking forward to this game for about this time last year, whenever we lost last year. Yeah, I've been ready for this game for a long time.
All right, Will, same question. What's the fire been like to get to this Friday night?
More of a revenge thing. With bad taste out of our mouth.
That's I can understand that. All right, on the season leading up to this night, through the first 6 games, I believe it is. Colby, what's your favorite memory so far of the 2023 season? And if it involves 51 or 69 doing something in the huddle, we already heard it all. No, go ahead.
I don't know. I really did like the locker room after we beat Piedmont. That was a really good memory of celebrating that win.
Yeah. That's a special one too. How about you, Will?
That playing Piedmont was dominating.
That's very cool. Howie, Chaney, fire us up some questions there, buddy.
Yeah, this is for all three of you. We'll start with Coach Vann. Fall break this week. You got 3 days off. How has that changed your routine of going through the process for this week?
I wouldn't say too much as far as practice-wise and what we do out there. Just different times of doing it. Starting at 7:30 every morning. But I thought our guys handled it really well. We prepared really well. I feel like I thought our guys had a good week of preparation, and hopefully that shows up on Friday night. But a lot of times it scares me when you prepare pretty well because there's always seems like something bad happens early. So, and that's going to happen. They're going to make plays early in the game, and it's our job to respond the right way. So, but I was really pleased with how we prepared, even though it's fall break. I know they're dealing with the same things we were dealing with. So, kind of on an even playing field as far as that goes.
Kobe. Oh, I'm sorry.
Coach, is that a sign of the maturity of this football team? Is that they can get in an abnormal situation and still prepare well?
I think so. We got a lot of juniors and seniors that's done it for a couple of years now and been a part of the program, and they do a good job of showing up. I brag on our seniors a lot, but we really do have a good core group of juniors as well that's been doing it a long time, and guys you can count on. So I thought everybody from top to bottom did a good job of locking in and getting the job done this week so far.
Howie, I'm sorry to interrupt. I thought that was a perfect follow-up. No, I don't get perfect follow-ups often. I'm not smart. I'm a Tennessee graduate.
And Coach Vann's shaking his head, agreeing with you.
I understand.
Kobe, same question for you.
It definitely, I wouldn't say it's changed like as far as how much preparation we put in, but it's definitely been better, been easier to keep our mind focused on the game without having to go through school. Like the only thing I've thought about all week is we play Plainview on Friday.
Will.
The routine hasn't really changed, like you said. We get up at the same time, come work out, practice. The only difference is we don't have school.
So after practice, you actually get to go home, so that's got to be a good thing.
Right.
We spoke with several players this year, as you know, and there have been quite a few of them that has mentioned the Plainview game, the disappointment from last year. How about y'all too? They've been looking forward to it, and I think y'all said y'all were looking forward to it as well. Do you feel like you could get overhyped for it and cause mistakes or something? Either one of Kobe or Will.
You can back yourself out of it. You just got to play with a level head.
Yeah, we are still playing a football game, so
Absolutely. Right. Coach Vann, you're going against Coach Pruitt. Like Randy said, a 300 win coach and everything. And have you reached out to him any since he's been back at Plainview and kind of picked his brain a little bit?
I've talked to him a few times. It's really been scheduling stuff. I hadn't talked to him near as much as I guess you probably should. I kind of I talked to Coach Benefield a lot, Coach Smith. I hadn't reached out to him near as much as probably I should. But being down the road from Plainview, I guess it's not right for somebody coach to talk to Plainview coach too much. I guess.
And region.
Yeah, and a big region matchup. I can talk to Coach Benefield a lot in their games, a non-region game. But probably not as much, to be honest with you, not as much as I probably should.
What do you expect from Plainview this week?
They're a good football. They're a young football team, so they've been getting a little bit better every week. Playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores is tough, on Friday nights. But we get them later in the year, and they've had a lot of Friday nights under their belt right now, so they're getting seasoned and getting better week in, week out. So I think we're going to get a really good Plainview team this week. We got a pretty stinking good Plainview team last year at this time that wasn't playing great football up to this point. So, and I think Plainview's playing a little bit better than they were last year at this time as far as they're getting better every week. You can watch film, you can see it. So we have to be prepared and ready to go because we're on I think we'll get the best Plainview team they've had so far. So it's a rivalry game. That's what it's about. You can throw records out. You can throw, how good you think you are or how many talented players you think you have or whatever out the window, because in a rivalry game it comes down to they're going to show up and give everything they got. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Last year, you can think about last year and you can let it bother you. You can take it as revenge as far as how hard you're going to work this year to revenge it or whatever you're thinking in your mind. But at the end of the day, it's who prepared the best throughout the week. And it's who executes the best on Friday night, regardless of how you feel about the game, regardless of how your mindset is and what you're feeling. At the end of the day, none of that matters. None of that's going to be the reason you win the game. Just because I'm mad that we lost last year at this time don't mean we're going to win the game Friday night. It's been about how well we prepared and how well we execute. Like I said, I've been really pleased with how we prepared this week. And I hadn't even mentioned, to be honest with you, I hadn't mentioned Plainview a lot this week too. After practice or anything like that, I've just been more focused on how we're preparing for the game, more so than the rivalry. Because at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to talk to you about the rivalry to get you mad and excited about playing on Friday night. To be more focused on how we're going to play. So I've been really happy, like I said, and pleased with our guys' preparation. I'm really to see the hopefully that translates Friday night at 7 o'clock. So.
Will, talking about a rivalry game being real close. Players from Plainview, Sylvania possibly go to church together and all that good stuff. Will, do you have any family or close friends that's playing for Plainview?
I can't say I do.
Cody?
There's several people that go there, though, but not super close.
Okay. Kobe?
I'm the same way. I don't really have anyone, like any close friends that go there, but I do know a lot of people there.
Hey, on the same questions, guys, how many of those guys did you grow up playing Pee-wee football against, though?
A bunch of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's motivation right there, just to be able to up them anytime you can. Randy, go ahead, man.
Coach, I've tried to hit different position groups throughout the weeks that we've been here. One that I think from 22 to 23 may be the most improved group, if I was writing down this group's improving that stuff, is your defensive back play. Who have we got back there, and can you just spotlight a little bit about the D-back play in the first 6 weeks of the season?
Yeah, we actually only have one returning starter. I think 12 did start a few games last year, but it wasn't every Friday night. So I think only one returning starter from last year, and that's 25, Jonah Gurley, kind of the voice of the back end. He talks a lot on the back end. 12 plays corner, J.R. Dixon. Landon Pritchett's probably the most improved and the guy that we lean on a lot in man coverage and does a really good job of staying in phase. I wish he's been working on trying to do a better job of getting his head around it and actually making plays on the football. As far as I feel like he's in position a lot more to make interceptions and making plays on the ball that way. But he does a really good job staying in phase, and he works hard every single day. So I've been really pleased with Landon Pritchett and the progress he's made in the offseason. I could see it in the weight room, and it's definitely translated to the field with that young man. And then Jackson Smith played a lot more DB this year than he has last year. Being quarterback last year, so we've been able to put him at DB and really helps us out a lot more. Putting him at DB, and then Zack Anderson, who stayed hurt last year for Piedmont owns back and plays a lot on the back end. So, all 5 of those guys, look, we only have 4 positions. They all play on Friday night, regardless of who starts. Sometimes people get caught up in who starts and who don't start. A lot of times when at the end of the day, it's a rotation all across the field. Like 54's will start at Mike this week. Kobe is, and then but 10's will rotate in. He's coming off an injury. He got cleared today. He'll rotate in some. But we're relying on guys in spots that we trust them and we expect them to make plays. So, and just because Kobe started, Gim's going to work in, don't make Gim any less of a player than he was 3 weeks ago. If that makes any sense to you. So we rely on a lot of guys. Like at receiver, that's a big spot for us. So we have a lot of rotating guys. Like just because you don't start, don't mean not a key part of what we're doing, and they do a good job. Coach Wilson does a good job of rotating guys in. So at the end of the day, it's not about who starts and who don't start. It's about winning a football game. And I'll tell you, I'm really pleased with the unselfishness of our team. That the only thing they care about is getting a win. They don't care about how many yards they have. Aiden didn't touch the ball that many times the other night. I didn't hear him talk about not touching a lot like he did in the past. No, I'm kidding. He really wasn't upset last time. I just gave him a hard time. But no, nobody cares. 5 totaled a lot this past week. I say a lot. It's only like 7 times, I think, 6 times maybe last week. Different guys are doing their jobs, and nobody really cares as long as we find a way to get 6 points or 7 points at the end of each drive. Nobody cares how we do it. As long as we get stops, nobody cares how we do it in our locker room, and that's all that matters. All that matters is in our locker room, and in here we're a family, and we only care about one thing, and that's finding a way to win football games. So, more so than any time I've been here, this is the most unselfish team that we've had since I've been here, and that says a lot about the group in there and how close they are. And just a football team.
Coach, you answered the question without me even saying it. I was gonna ask you about the flexibility of having that many people, but you just answered that beautifully. So it is. I think a couple of those guys are able to move around back there, and I think sometimes it really lets you play little matchups a little differently.
Yeah, and there's reasons that guys end up in spots they end up, and we sit down on Sundays and try to find out what our best matchups we feel like we're going to have, and then sometimes we're wrong, and we make a change, and another guy does a little better job. Sometimes we're right, though. So, but I'm not afraid to admit if we're wrong. But I really am pleased. Like I said, when I say we're a good football team, I mean like a good team. Not necessarily as far as wins and losses and all that goes. I'm just saying we're a good team, like togetherness, and a good family. So that's what I mean when I say we're a good football team. I'm not trying to say we're a good football team because we're 5-1. I'm trying to say we're a good football team because we're a family. So I'm really proud of this group. To this point, now they could break up tomorrow. It's like I told them the other day, I don't care who breaks up with you, your girlfriends or whoever can break up with you, but we're not breaking up with each other. So you can count on us every day.
Coach, I haven't done this show for 2 years with you. We knew what there's certain lines you don't cross, and you explained that one well. It's a good teammate team, and I felt like that all year with the guys you've brought in. They're great teammates, and I'm going to go up a little bit, Colby, and let's talk about that. Playing middle linebacker, and you play a lot on offense. What do you enjoy most on the football field?
I enjoy playing offensive line the most. Just being able to line up in front of a person, and being able to drive them off the ball and just make it easy for us to run the ball.
Are you and Will on the same side? So tell me something you've learned about Will with playing on the same side as him.
He knows how to step on my feet. He steps on my feet more than any other person on the line.
Okay, Will. Same question about Colby, and then I'm going to come back to what you like in football. Go ahead. What have you learned about Colby playing on the same side with him? He's got big feet.
I got big feet, and they get away a lot, and he really helps you out a whole lot when you need it.
That's good. That's good. What do you enjoy about the game? Is it offensive line? Is it defense? Or
offense, being able to dominate the other people in front of you, being able to control the game.
Will, is there a time in the huddle that you just know that you're better than maybe the defensive line at that point late in the game, and when you fire off, there's going to be something there for you in the running game?
It probably sets in about right before halftime, right after halftime. You just know you can be able to dominate the person in front of you.
And I love offensive line play because I was a fat kid. That's the only thing they'd let me play. I wasn't athletic either, so they just said, well, he takes up a lot of room, so we'll put him on the offensive line. Will, what do you think the most important thing in your game to playing on the offensive line is?
Being able to work together, work as a unit.
Cool. Colby, same question. What What do you think is the most important thing to you for success as an offensive line?
I would just say physicality, making sure you hit the person harder than they hit you, so you move them.
That's good. What do y'all think? I remember I played with a pretty good running back in the 8th, 9th grade, somewhere along the way, and he'd roll up all these huge stats. And I can tell you, as an offensive lineman, I always looked at that and I took some pride in it. What do you feel like when Aiden just has a great night, or 5 has a great night, or 15 has a great night at running the football? How do you look at that?
Well, we see it as we played very well too. It's always good whenever we finally get to hear the stats of the game, especially against the Piedmont game. Hearing the stats, I can't remember how many yards Aiden ended up having, but it was a big relief once we finally heard them.
Howie, Chaney, on the sideline, have you ever been asked about how many yards we got in the 4th quarter or something, or is it just after the game?
You know, I was thinking, as Coach Vann was talking about good teammates, not worrying about stats and all that, this is the only team I've ever been around in all the years I've kept stats that no one has ever asked about anything.
That don't surprise
me. The only thing is asked is Coach Vann wants to know what the other team has at halftime. And sometimes they don't even tell me that, and I just give them both of them, and he just says, good job. So I even get a that boy every once in a while from Coach Vann.
Yeah, I ain't never got one of those. So go ahead, Howie, with your famous Chaney questions.
Well, one of them I want to go back to Kobe and Will. At the Piedmont game, Aiden carried the ball 47 times, I think it was. Y'all love run blocking. How did y'all feel about after that game?
Felt great. There's a lot of pride to be had, knowing that you was able to dominate them with people across from you all night.
Yeah, we stayed in 24 first and just ran right at them the entire game. It was great to do that.
Yeah, I know you're making Coach Arnold extremely happy right now, talking about you love run blocking.
Coach Arnold's going to save a recording of this show, Howie, I'm thinking.
Coach Arnold don't even know how to get on Facebook.
Yeah, that.
Coach, I'm glad you said it because I was fixing to.
Look, I was just trying to make myself feel good.
Facebook's communism.
Well, it's not communism to Coach Arnold, be honest.
Yeah, to Arnold.
We could put it on AOL dial-up maybe for him then.
He's probably more of a MySpace guy.
There you go. Kobe and Will don't even know what MySpace is.
Yeah.
You got mail.
There you go. Hey, Will, who's your favorite professional athlete?
Jason Kelsey.
All right, Kobe, same for you.
I like Aaron Donald a lot. I like to watch him do what he does.
How about your favorite team to support, other than the Sylvania Rams? Kobe.
Well, college is Alabama. I like Alabama football, but I also like the Braves on MLB.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to look at the score right now. So let's move on to the Braves.
Will.
I get a lot of hate for this, but I'm an Auburn fan.
No
Hard
feel.
life. Sad life, but struggle and survive.
Sad life. That tells you something right there. If you know it's a sad life rooting for a team.
You're a Falcon fan, Howie. You understand.
Yes, sir, I do. That's what I know. Yeah. The question I ask everybody: do y'all have any pregame ritual or routine that you have to do? Kobe.
I have to take a pregame nap. It doesn't matter if it's on the bus or if it's in the locker room for the game.
Sleepingest football team I've ever seen. They take after their head coach on that one.
Yeah. Will.
I wear the same socks. Wash them, of course, but the same socks.
Do you wash them?
I do.
Okay, thank God.
Hey, I finally got an honest answer from somebody. Nobody else would actually say anything, but I appreciate that answer there. Hey, we got a little pick'em contest going on. I know it's a little bit early, but we're gonna go ahead and get it out of the way because I feel like this is Coach Vann's favorite part of the show. Right now, Coach Vann's sitting at 4-2. We're calling the players the celebrity guest pickers. They're 8-4 at the moment. So, first game we're going to go with is Florida, South Carolina. Coach Vann.
I go Spencer Rattler. Ain't Coach Bear, man.
You know what happened to you last time you done that?
Yeah, I'm going with it.
Okay. Will.
I'm going to go Florida.
Florida for Will. All right, Kobe.
South Carolina.
Kobe of South Carolina. All right, we're going to do 3 on this week. Auburn, LSU, next pick. We'll go with Will.
You put me in a bad spot. Is it at Auburn? I don't even know.
No, I think it's at Death Valley.
LSU.
All right, Will.
I'm going to say Auburn.
Coach Vann.
That's good because I gain a game. LSU big. Auburn can't score enough. I know LSU's defense is horrific.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Randy, your Florida SC pick.
You're on my side. Hey, Randall picked the same games we picked. No, he missed one.
Yeah. I refuse to recognize either team, and I hate them both. But I think I'll go with South Carolina. Spencer Rattler. Get
and
that.
The Auburn LSU.
Better not to cost us a game. It's not even going to be close.
LSU is bad on defense, but Auburn's worse on offense. I'll go with LSU.
And the bonus game, just for Coach Vann, you know what it is. Texas A&M and Tennessee.
He always looks here.
Is it Tennessee?
It's in Knoxville.
Yes.
Boy,
I'm going Tennessee.
What?
I'm going Tennessee beats A&M in Knoxville. I'm not a huge Jimbo Fisher guy. It's hard for me to pick Jimbo, so I'm going. If it was at A&M, I'd pick A&M. At Tennessee, I'm going Coach Heupel's offense.
Okay, Will.
Tennessee.
Kobe.
I think A&M will win that one.
Should I even ask Randy?
You know, it's amazing how much smarter I think Will is than Kobe is right now. So,
Tennessee.
hey, look, I sent those people $272.11 for 10 years. I'm going to pick Tennessee if they play anybody.
Did you buy your education?
It was like on a rent-to-own plan.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, before we get off, I got one round of questions I want to hit the guys with and Coach Vann too. And I really haven't got to ask Coach Vann this and then finish it up for the night. What does Plainview do well, Coach Vann? We really didn't get a breakdown of them. I just want to let you kind of talk about what you've seen on film.
Rutledge, the quarterback, does a really good job in the triple. When they run the triple, they've kind of been mixing it up when you take triple. And I think Rutledge does a really good job in whatever offense they're running. I really like that kid. I think he does a really good job with their offense. Runs their offense and manages their offense really well. Number 8 for them is a really fast kid. I have the roster out here. I don't remember his name, but he's a quick kid. They get the ball 234, does a really good job running the ball. He spins a lot. It's tough to get down. Hard runner. They come off the ball a lot better than even I thought they come off last year. They get off up front. It's really good. They come off the ball low on both sides of the football. So I think that's a big improvement for even from where they were at last year. I think this year they've taken a huge step forward to come off the ball. So we don't have to be ready to go. So they're secondary. They're young, but they're pretty athletic on the back end. That bright future. I think I have for them because we're playing a lot of young players right now. So they're athletic on the back end, and like I said, all the other things they do a really good job of. So we'll have to be ready to go.
Hey, Coach Vann. And Howie, I'll come up with you for the closing questions. You know what to hit with, but let me hit them with this one, the players with one question. Kobe, how much do you enjoy watching film, and what do you look at when you're looking at film?
I watch film a lot, like not even to critique my game half the time, but just to go back and watch games that I've played in. It's always fun to just go back and see how much progress I've made from whenever I watched the game.
That's good. That's good. Will, same question.
I enjoy watching film. It's more of a critiquing thing for me. How can I get better? What can I fix?
All right, Howie, you know our standard weekly questions. You since I picked Tennessee and Texas A&M, I've put on 3 hats this week. I'm gonna put on this one before I go any farther. Friday night, I'm going to get to come to Sylvania as strictly a fan and sit in the stands and watch a football game with my daughter and her friends and take them to this rivalry game. And I'm so excited about it. I not got to be a fan at a game in a long time. And we may do some drop-ins. I expect we're going to do a lot of RiverCity-Media drop-ins and stuff. And I'm just happy to get to come down and see the Rams play, Howie. And I know we've been working on this all week. So thank you for helping me out, too, with it.
Yeah, no problem, man. I got a question for the offensive lineman. How is it dealing with the coolies?
Oh my gosh.
It can be a struggle at times. But then again, it's a blessing too. They play 100%. They're going to give you all they got.
When y'all put in that offense where the coolies were double fullbacks, halfbacks, however you want to call it, did y'all give them a hard time?
We did whenever we first put it in. They messed up quite often.
Do y'all give them a hard time on a daily anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's being around those. Just being around them on the sideline is very entertaining some nights, and it's interesting to be close by and hear some of their wild comments as well. You know, anywhere from one of them telling the other one they're better than they are, and then hearing one of them just barking at the other team on the sideline. You never know what you're going to get from them. So it's really fun. We're at the time of the show where we get out and give shout outs. Now let's make it clear, because Roman didn't understand last week. You can shout out anybody.
Even
if
a
you want to. Well, Randy?
Either one of them has one.
Yeah. Anybody you want to shout out to, it's not just one. If you got a big list like Coach Vann had last week, have a big list. So we'll start with Will.
I'll give a shout out to my mom and dad.
There you go. That's a good kid, Howie. Go ahead, Will. Sorry. I've been waiting for somebody to shout out mom and dad for a while.
That's it, mom and dad.
Well, we've been waiting for somebody to shout them out without being prompted to for a long time.
Well, that's true.
You just got the one shout out, Will? No position coach, no nothing like that?
Shout out Coach Lee.
Hey.
You know, Roman shouted out Coach Vann last week, and he ended up with a lot of targets.
Exactly. That's what they don't figure. They hadn't figured it out.
No.
Will would have said it. I'd have made him tight end tomorrow,
Yep. Aiden said he was his favorite teacher and got 48 carries the next week, Kobe. I'm just going to let you know that before you go.
All right, Kobe, let's see what you learned. Any shout outs you want to give out?
I have a feeling I need to shout out my mom and dad. I also want to shout out Coach Vann.
Sniffer this week.
And I want to also shout out my youth group.
That's a good one too, man.
Where's that at?
At Henniger Baptist.
There you go. We had a lot of people on here from Henniger Baptist watching the other day. It was great to see that following. Coach Vann, your shout outs.
Probably going to shout out Brother David Starling and DJ Starling and Chad Sizemore. Those three have done a really good job of bringing the word to our players this year. All three of them spoke at different times, not including all the other churches that we appreciate that speak to us on Friday mornings over there at the church. And everyone's involved in feeding us breakfast, all the churches, local churches. Everyone around that provides food for us. We do appreciate it. And like I said, again, Brother David's he's our team chaplain. DJ's around a lot, videoing and stuff. He also speaks to the team, and Chad Sizemore speaks every Friday morning, regardless of if we get spoken to at the church or not. He's always here and does a really good job. And I think it's making a difference. If it's not making a difference in our players' lives, it's for sure making a difference in mine. So I do appreciate everything they do for us in our football program and being around. And we do appreciate it. And then my wife and my son, Cotton, as always.
Your wife, Hannah, at that. Mention Hannah.
My wife, Hannah, yes.
There you go.
There you go. Starting to worry about him, Howie.
Yeah. Randy, you got any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out whoever is willing to hold me a spot while I drive down there Friday night after I get off work, No, I really want to shout out, and we've never tried equipment when we have been at so we're in a whole new land, but I'm hoping to be able to give updates from the field and maybe even go live at some points and just what's happening in the game. So I just want to tell everybody to just kind of, if you love this show and support Sylvania, just check in and check on Friday night to see what we can get done. I'm sure I might try to get Coach Vann to talk to me a little bit after the game or something like that. So just excited. I'm excited to go home. I know I grew up in Chattanooga. I went to school in Tennessee. I lived in the Sand Mountain area for 5 or 6 years, and I still call it home. And I don't get to spend near as much time down there as I like to. So to get to come down there Friday night and spend some time I love that place, and I can't express to people how much I love Sand Mountain football from all the teams out there. But I got a little special place in my heart for Sylvania. But it's really, I'm excited to get to come down Friday night, Howie.
Right. Coach Vann, you mentioned DJ doing a lot of pictures and videos on the sideline. So I want to ask Kobe and Will before we step away, your thoughts on the hype video before the game starts.
Awesome. I've never seen anything like it around here. It's truly something special.
And you got a new inflatable, I guess that's what you call it, a helmet that you run out of. How much does that get you fired up running through there?
It's a different feeling whenever you're standing in the helmet and there's smoke going everywhere and you can see the video from like behind people. It looks awesome. And then once you finally get to run out and see the crowd.
Has anybody failed trying to get out of the helmet so far this year?
I don't think yet.
Okay, it's coming.
Someone knock on wood.
There we go. Look at Will. He gave a shout out to his mom and dad without being prompted. He's knocking on wood for good luck. I tell you what, Will, Coach Vann needs to figure out some plays for you this week.
Tight end or tackle eligible.
Yep. He didn't shout out his girlfriend, did he?
No.
Oh.
No, I can't get them to understand that shouting out the girlfriend is like important. Coach, this time every week we always talk about the same thing. That's filling up the stadium and having a bunch of people down there.
Yeah, we need a lot. We need everybody out. We've done a really good job. Our community's done a good job filling the stadium every Friday night this year for home games. It's another big home game. Regardless that we lost the last one at home, we need you. We need you out there. So I know our kids appreciate it. Our players appreciate it. And, that our band appreciates everybody that shows up and supports them as well. So we just need everybody to show up, show out. Both football and cheering and bands all worked hard for Friday night. So we're excited about it, and they're well worth it. I promise you. Come out and support them, and like I said, they'll appreciate it. And I will as well.
Howie, you want to wrap us up tonight?
Hey, it's going to be a great game, rivalry game. The Auburn and Alabama game of Sand Mountain is what a lot of people used to call it, the Iron Bowl of Sand Mountain. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Everybody come out and support the players. like Coach Vann said, the players, the cheerleaders, the band, they all work hard to put on a good show on Friday nights. And I'm looking forward to being on the sideline and seeing this game come Friday night. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing Randy being able to be there and be live in person.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night. Everybody get out and support the Rams. Colby, Will, thank you very much. I know you have plenty of other places you could be. Appreciate it.
You.
Yeah, apparently Will could have been with his girlfriend, but
we never know this until after the show. Coach Vann has to give us these updates. They won't do it herself.
right.
Coach Vann, thank you for always getting your lovely wife, Hannah, and your son in your shout-outs. This is Randall Cunningham for Howie Chaney and the Sylvania Rams. We'll be back next week. Thank you.